And a good day to you all. Welcome to the Weather Academy here. I'm meteorologist Tom DeVecchio. Nice to see you on this Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So I figure with Thanksgiving coming up, of course, Wednesday is a huge travel day. In fact, we expect that almost 54 million people will be traveling. Now, when you consider that the United States has about 350 million people, that means almost 16% of the people will be traveling for today. That is a lot of people. And of course, there are a lot of things that you have to be careful of when you are looking at, as far as the weather goes. And a lot of times, at this time of year, the weather can get a little bit dicey, a little bit questionable as we get through some of the days there. So a lot of times, of course, you look at the current conditions here. Now, this particular batch, you can see on this particular day, a few lake effect bands were forming. As I record this on Tuesday, these are some of the things that we look at. Because the lake effect, the problem with the lake effect is that it can cause quick changes in the weather. Now, the thing here, you look at this and you say, not too bad. And in general, this isn't a lot of snow. The majority of the areas, a lot of people will be traveling over 100 miles. So maybe you're traveling to Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, or maybe as far west as Chicago, as far east as New York City. The thing with these bands is they are a lot of times you see these bright blue. Those are whenever the temperatures are close to freezing or even a little bit above freezing. A lot of times, this can be instead of lake effect snow, it can be graupel. Graupel are snow pellets, and basically graupel are they're just tiny marbles. Really, is what they are. Nothing more. So if you put marbles on a roadway and you drive on them, well, they can make your car slide a little bit. So whenever you look at the radar, and most radars on your phones or your apps or maybe on the computer, typically will be able to delineate between or separate things like rain and snow and mixed precipitation. Now, graupel often doesn't, you would think graupel would show up as maybe sleet, which is usually kind of the pinkish type of colors. But in this case, it is showing up more as these dark blue ones. So a lot of times when you travel like 90 and 86 and 79, some of the other routes like Route 6 and, Route 8, Route 27, and there's 62, some of these other routes here, sometimes they can get a quick hit of these areas of graupel, and that's what can make things a little bit dicey as you plan your travels. So look for that in traveling, which should otherwise be some fairly decent weather here as we look toward Wednesday itself, which is when you're watching this. The weather looking nice and tranquil. Impacts here, moderate and high. Everything else is low impact. So traveling from New England to the Great Lakes into the deep South, not bad at all. Now, as we head on toward Thanksgiving itself, you see this little batch here. Usually when you have kind of a bow like this, it's probably a front that's going to cause, and they have some moderate impact here. In this case, the impact will most likely be rain and some wind. So, not as optimal as dry roads, but the roads would be mainly wet for Thanksgiving if you're planning to travel on Thanksgiving itself. Now, as we head on toward Friday, can see a big impact here in New England as a big storm system moves across northern New England. For us, this looks like a similar front, but in this case, it's a lake effect. Northwest winds getting us some lake effect snows and mixes here. Once again, no Arctic conditions. That's why we're not in red. This is snow that would easily melt on treated roadways. And Friday is, pretty good travel day for people returning from Thanksgiving fun and festivities, though many of you probably, especially college students, probably staying through the weekend. Overall, though, even though we don't have Saturday and Sunday on here, Saturday was going to look similar to Friday, maybe some bands of lake effect off of the Great Lakes, but by, for Saturday. And then Sunday looks more wet for those of you planning to travel back to your destinations, especially for areas south of Erie and south along the I-70 to I-80 corridor. So there you have it. That's your Weather Academy for the day. Just be careful traveling and enjoy your Thanksgiving. Talk to you again next week. Take care.